Hey, Megan. The audio is being weird. Let me see here. Yeah, it's cause multi-output. Okay, maybe I need to try and reopen it. That might solve it. It's cause on the Mac you gotta do things a certain way and like la di da. I wonder because it was working fine earlier. That is not what I wanted. It's also because I'm using this like ancient computer that my job gave me, and apparently Apple doesn't service it anymore. So that's fucking fun. Oh, that's better. Sounds better-ish to me. I don't know how it sounds to you. Yeah, well, I mean, it's not my fucking problem, really. So, okay, well, I'll just shut the music off then. Um, well, maybe shut it off for you guys, and I'll just play it for me. And if I do that, I can play Spotify and actually have words, and then you guys can hear my awful fucking singing. Let's do that. Cause I can't get popped for a copyright request if I'm making my own versions of shit up. At least that's what I'll tell myself, so it's fine. So you should be able to see my lovely face now. All right. So before I jump in to start actually cooking here, um, I'm 100 and I think it's 62 days today. Alcohol free. So I'm gonna make a mocktail. Um, I actually forgot that they were open because I was putting away dishes. So I got a lime. No, my last best was like 92 or something like that. Um, so close. We'll use some of that later. So this is my favorite mocktail. So I got ginger beer. This one's my favorite. Um, so I'm just gonna pour some of that in. This is one of the beautiful things that I love about cooking is you can have a drink if you're into that, or you can have a mocktail or any of that stuff. And what I have in this bottle is just some cranberry juice. And I got the light one because trying to watch sugar and whatnot. Um, and I got some lime. Put some lime in there. Yeah, it's super fucking good. Um, I'm gonna go put these back in the fridge real quick. And I'm gonna wash my hands really fast because that's good kitchen etiquette. Um, So, and by the way, on stream days, I wear skulls. And just to prove that I'm wearing skulls, it's actually skeletons, but that's fine. Um, so, I'm gonna be making pupusas with curtido, and curtido is basically like yeah, it's fine. It's my counter. Nobody else is here. Doesn't matter. My socks are clean. Hey, Lyra. Um, I think I was in the middle of explaining where curtido is. So curtido is um, it's like a pickled coleslaw almost. It's like it's pickled cabbage. Um, and today I'm actually because the preferred way I like to make it is actually let it sit overnight. Hey, Ovog, nice to see you. Um, the way I like to make it is I actually like to make it like the day before and let it sit in the fridge overnight. But I'm actually gonna cut some corners and do like a quick pickle. Just to get it because you like to have your cabbage a little bit soft. Um, so what I actually think I might do, I might actually start with that and go from there. So the way you make this sort of quick, I'm gonna do a quick pickle version. Um, and you use red pepper flake, and this is oregano that my IRL best friend sent me that she actually dried herself. Then we're gonna use half of this bad boy right here, half of an onion. And I have this lovely stuff that I used the other day. It's just bagged coleslaw mix. It's got, two different kinds of cabbage in it and carrots. Um, and then you also need, love this stuff, just some pepper. And where the fuck is that? We might just have to use this one. This is salt. And the other thing that we do need is, do I have my other one? Apple cider. So what we're gonna do, I have a measuring cup here. Just gonna put, if I can open it. I might not be able to open it. Oh, I got it. So we're just gonna do about a half a cup of vinegar. Um, then what we also want to do at this stage is take some of our salt. Um, you probably want, if we're gonna be super precise, something like maybe a half a teaspoon. I was gonna do my country method of things. Yeah, it'll be saved it as a VOD. I always have my stuff saved as a VOD. Um, yeah, and then I need to figure out what the fuck's going on with the YouTube connection thing. Um, so you want to put some salt in there, and then you want to put some sugar in there as well. And typically, when I make quick pickle stuff, I like to do the same amount of salt and sugar. Um, so we got that in there. And then, we got about a half a cup of vinegar in here. You want to do at least a half a cup of water because we want to cut it. So I'm going to go put some water in this bad boy. And then I'm just going to microwave here we want to really get it warm enough so that the salt will dissolve. So I think I'm going to do about a minute and a half or a minute. Um, just because we're trying to cut corners a little bit. So while that's going, I'm going to go ahead and chop my onion in half. Um, and the way you cut onions is typically you go pole to pole here to get it in half because it's hard to cut anything that's sort of rounded and moving around, right? Um, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this guy in half. They don't particularly. We're gonna save this because we're gonna use this in a little bit. And then what you want to do here is cut the sort of like this. It's not hairy. It's sort of the stocky end off, right? I need to get one of my bags. All right, here we go. I typically put all my like trash on a bag so I can easily throw it away. And then I also leave this hairy end on. It's not super hairy because most of it wound up on the other half, but so you just want to go ahead and peel it at this stage. It should be easier to peel, and then you can just pull that end off, pull all the skin and stuff off. And then because it's going in with this coleslaw, I'm just gonna cut it in half and then slice it up. Um, and I just as sort of side note, I'm like super rustic cooker. Um, so what that means is I don't really care about knife cuts being proper or any of that stuff. Um, so I think you'll see that sort of going forward. What I'm trying to do is just get these, not super thin, right? Because you know what you want to know that onion is there. Um, but you also don't want them super thick either. And I'm probably going to wind up making two batches, which is fine. Um, you know what? We're going to save this last bit for the salsa part. So I'll just put that over here. Yeah, it's a super. I'm very rustic. Actually, leave that here. Okay. So our lovely stuff is microwaved. You can see that sort of a lot of the salt and stuff is gone. Um, I'm just gonna give it a stir here. So what I have are mason jars. So what I'm gonna do is I have two of them. I'm gonna go ahead and sort of divide up this onion between the two of them because I'm essentially, like I said, gonna make two batches here. Um, this one. Um, and I'm gonna start crying, guys. I'm sorry. Ah! I'm fine. I'm fine. It's the onions, I swear. So depending on how spicy you like this stuff, right? So it's crushed red pepper. I'm just gonna put a little bit in there in each one. Um, and then you take your dried oregano and just kind of, squish it up in there. Um, it just adds extra flavor. So really, sort of use your judgment, and don't go overboard. Don't. Yeah, I'm fine now. It's fine. I'm not staring directly at the onion anymore. Then what I'm gonna do is just take some of this, bagged coleslaw mix that I bought the other day. I'm sort of big into not wasting food. So I really like to, buy things that have multiple applications. Um, just trying to make sure I get all this goodness in there. Yeah, whew. It might happen more later because we're going to deal a little bit more with vinegar and a little bit more of cooking some stuff. I'm just kind of, getting a bunch of this stuff in there. Hey Megan, are you guys getting rain? Because all of my like NorCal friends are like, "Oh my God, we're gonna die! It's gonna flood!" All right. All right, there's not a whole bunch of this stuff left, so I'm just gonna sort of divide it. Yeah, my friend, I should really check in with them because it's got past that time now. But my friend sent me this thing where apparently they got a warning to like stay inside at like 2. Um, so I mean, she wasn't planning to go out today anyways, but I just thought it was fucking funny. All right. So this is about a cup and a quarter of water, vinegar, salt, sugar mix. And I already sort of prepped these guys, so all I'm gonna do is just try and divide it in half as best as I can. That's probably good. And you're not looking for it to be like a pickling liquid. Um, and you know when you do pickling, it's usually mostly vinegar water mix, and then all whatever you're trying to pickle. But this in this case, because it's um, a coleslaw, it's fine to just sort of leave it like that. So now comes one of the fun parts, and I'm going to get a little bit of an arm workout. So I grab some lids, put these guys up, and give it a shake. And so you're just trying to get the liquid distributed, trying to get the onions sort of distributed in there. And so really what you're looking for is it to be wet, right? But not overly. Um, so do the same thing for the second one. It's like, my own version of a shake weight. I've actually never done a mud run. I don't know if I would like that or not. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and stash these in the fridge. And I'm going to do something with my audio real quick because whatever's going on is not fun. Yeah. All right. So now we're getting up to, I'm going to clean this off really quick because there's just crap. We're going to go ahead and start working on the salsa bit. Um, Typically, when you have salsas, unless you're looking at like a pico de gallo, um, you like to have them cooked. You like to have your ingredients cooked. Um, so essentially, my ingredients for the salsa, this, that's what we're looking at. This is all the stuff that's going to go into our salsa. We're not going to cook any of it now. What we're actually going to do is take some of the oil and put it in a pan after all of this stuff is blended and fry the salsa. And it's actually a lot of fun. Um, so I'm going to take a sip of drink here because we're cooking. It's going to be good. And for a kick, I might do a little bit of lime because I have some. Um, and I don't know if it'll fit in these guys. I might do 2 batches. No, I won't do 2 batches. That's silly. I'll just use the full bucket, full blender. I actually haven't used it, so maybe not. Could use a stick blender. I might do that. I might use a stick blender. See, I told you I had so many fucking gadgets. Um, all right, so what we're probably gonna do is actually divide this in half, just to make it easier, so we don't. Um, I don't wind up, spilling a bunch of shit all over my kitchen. Um, this one is being not friendly. All right, there we go. There we go. So how's everybody's day been? Anything interesting to talk about? And again, a rustic style cooker. I'm actually going to cut the hairy end off this time because it's fine. So I'm just doing a rough chop to this. It's going to get handled mostly by the blender. Um, so this is about a half of an onion. Actually, I'm going to do sort of like a quarter of it because I'm going to do this in two batches. And you know what? I might go get another thing of garlic. Um, Typically, I like to just smash my garlic. This one's a little old, so it's got some brown spots on it or whatever. So that's gonna go in there, and I'm gonna start crying again here in a second. Fucking onions. Um, and this is a serrano. I have a very bad history with peppers, so I'm gonna deal with this guy, um, and then probably like immediately go wash my hands like 4 times because uh, touching, things when you have pepper juice hands is not fun. And I'm deveining and de-ribbing this pepper because I'm a weenie when it comes to heat. Um, but we're just gonna go with it, and I'm gonna just stand here and keep crying and trying to deal with this pepper. And oh my god, it's a fucking Baby Shark song, and I'm gonna have to change it. I don't know what's more painful, the song or like the crying from the onions, or oh. All right, so I'm just gonna clean up a little bit, and I'm gonna go with hands. All right. Well, it's the Leo version of it because I told you I was like obsessed with them. So, all right. So we got sort of our other half of stuff that we'll blend up in a bit. Um, what I'm just gonna do here is very, very carefully, like, just take the core out from this tomato. Um, and that's basically because uh, the blender is gonna have some trouble processing it. Um, all right, so that one's done. So I'm just gonna rough chop this again. It's rustic, whatever. We're gonna blend it up anyways. Put in there. And perfect. Here's one. And again, carefully pour the other one. Actually, you know what? We might be able to fit most of it in there. So that's pretty well decored. This one looks a little. Alright. How'd you make salsa in a 5 gallon bucket? Oh, that's kind of cool. Hmm. Okay. Well, I actually think that might be alright. We might just make the salsa like this, guys. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. Alright, so this is the lovely stick blender. And what I'm gonna do is grab my lovely little salt again. I'm gonna do this about a quarter of a teaspoon. Uh, yeah, that's probably about right. Maybe a tiny more. And then we can always add more later. Um, just do a little bit of pepper, because why not? Maybe, yeah, we'll squeeze this little lime in there. We're just gonna put, let's see here. How much is that? We're gonna do a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar to start. Um, Again, we can add a little bit more later if we want to. Um, and actually, what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm done with this. No, I might not be done with this, so we'll leave that. What I'm gonna do, this is brand new oil, so I gotta take the thingy off. In a saucepan, um, I'm just kind of gonna coat the bottom with some oil, how much ever you need to do that with. You want to have it a little bit pulled up on the bottom. Again, because we're gonna fry this salsa, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this. I will move around the camera sort of when we get to the more cooking phase. I'm gonna put it on medium, because we want to get that oil hot enough to be able to fry this stuff. I'm actually gonna go ahead and put myself on mute really quick, because this is gonna be loud. Hopefully, buffering or any of that isn't too bad, because it's telling me that it's. Just gonna check this to sort of make sure it's all blended up. Looks pretty good. Um, we're gonna taste it and look at this color, right? It's kind of pink. Um, some magic is gonna happen when we fry this. Might need a little bit more salt. Well, I'm also on Wi-Fi, so it could be me. And if it's me, I apologize. I can try and fix that later date. Um, I'm also using a Mac, which is fucking internet work, so. Just gonna add a little bit more salt to this because it's tasting a little bland. Um, so let's see what we got. Alright, that tastes pretty good. And I think my oil is probably getting close to hot. Yeah. So my oil smoked a little bit. Right, yeah, you can see it. So, you know what? Let me change stuff around really fast because I do want you guys to see this. Uh, so for a second, but make sure it's back up again. I turn it down to sort of medium low. Um, all right, so here's a pan. It's smoking up a little bit. You can see the oil shimmering, right? It's gonna make some magic happen, and you really, it's like a volcano. That's the kind of thing you actually want. Try not to burn yourself. Um, what's gonna happen here is you're basically frying salsa. Uh, so it'll start changing colors. Remember how it was this pink color? We're at like a medium, and this is the tiny, tiny shit burner. Because all my other burners are basically. So I'm just gonna work it a little bit. Here for a second. So I'm basically done with the cutting board and the stick blender, so I'm gonna just go ahead and take those over to the sink. Hey, Squirrel, how you doing? Let's look at this guy. So hasn't really started changing color a whole lot yet. It's starting to. We basically need to let this cook um, until it gets a deep red color. And I'll just clean up some of my cooking nonsense here. Shit everywhere. Sure, I don't really have to take the skillet. All right, we're gonna get to the fun part now. This cut back to myself. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just trying out this whole stream thing. Let's see how the fuck it goes. Um, so we're back in my workspace here. Got a bowl. Um, got my masa here. Um, take a drink because I can. By the way, this is a mocktail because I'm at 162 days alcohol free now. So that's exciting. So I actually need my phone for this part because I don't know this part of the recipe by heart. Um, so let's see here. 2 cups salt, cheese. Okay, Yeah, thank you. So I'm just gonna start out with brand new bag. Excellent job, Squirrel. I'm also, I think, 8 days. 8 days, devil's lettuce sober. So this is just a cup, measuring cup. Um, we're just gonna put some of this in here until we get about a cup. That's probably close enough. So we're gonna just start out with 2 cups. My goal is basically to keep cooking until all of my ingredients are gone. Um, and I'll talk about that here in a second. All right, I just have a cup and a half of water here. Um, and I want to show you guys this real quick because it's starting to change colors. So I'm just going to move it over here really fast. So it's starting to go from pink to deepening in color, deepening in this red color. And you want to make sure you keep stirring it. Not constantly so much, but by the time we get done with this, it'll be like a pretty deep red color. All right, so we got our 2 cups in here, and all I'm just gonna do is make, actually, JK, I need some salt. We're gonna just do this 1/4 teaspoon again, sort of sprinkle it around, and then mix it up a little bit with our hands, make a well sort of in the middle, and then just go ahead and dump your cup and a half of water in. So it's a cup and a half of water to 2 cups of the masa, um, with just like a pinch of salt. Um, so, and this is the sort of time to get in there with your hands, have some fun with it. So it's sort of getting into this like Play-Doh consistency, right? Um, and again, not all the masa has been incorporated at this point. There's still sort of some that's dry at the bottom. Um, so what we want to do, make sure that all of the granules of this masa get whitened, um, and you kind of want to make it be like a Play-Doh. And this is honestly acting a little bit too wet for what I want. Um, so what I might do with this spoon that I used before is grab a little bit from the bag. I don't want that much. So I literally have only a tiny bit, and I'm gonna put it in there. That's feeling good. So really, you want to make sure it's sort of is it able to ball up. Um, and then what we're gonna do is let it sit. So this is pretty well mixed together, I think. Try and get some of this stuff off my hands. And you saw my hands; they sort of went from like really nasty looking to they're actually pretty clean now. So that's also an indicator of how your mouse is being mixed. Um, so just gonna start with that. The salsa is smelling fucking good. Shit. Look at this shit, guys, and I need to taste it. See how it went from the light pink to this darker red? That's really what you want. What I'm going to do is just taste a little bit of it, make sure flavor is right. Yeah, it's right. You're really looking for a little bit of a tang. A little bit of tang from I put lime in it, so a little bit of a tang from the acid, a little bit of spice from the pepper, And you want a little bit of a roastiness from the tomato, um, and of course a touch of salt because we did put a little bit of salt. So honestly, that's done. So I'm just going to turn it off. That did not take long at all. I was actually expecting it to take longer. Um, so what we're going to do is just let this sit for a little bit. Um, I'm going to go get myself some more water in here and wash my hands, and then sort of prep the workspace because I like to have like a system, and I might take the opportunity to do like a tiny bit of dishes at this point. I won't because I can hang out with you guys and chat. Um, but part of being a cook is just, at least for me, is trying to develop this sort of process flow approach to it. To in some sense, optimize time and figure out ways that I can make the headache less on myself. Um, so we're done with these. I'm gonna go put these in the sink. All right, this over here. Put our water there. And all I have here are just some plastic, like cutting boards. Um, and I'm just going to use those to make our pupusas and sort of put them on there. And then after I have enough sort of built up, then I'll go transition to start cooking them. One thing I do want to mention is do not have a wide mouth one. All right, we'll do this one. That's fine. I do like my salsa colder, right? So this just came off of basically boiling. So what I'm gonna do is actually, I'm not gonna do it here because I have a tendency to get shit everywhere. I'm gonna just transfer it to a mason jar and then put it in the fridge so that we can get cold salsa. And then you can see that we almost got this full 16-ounce mason jar full out of it. Um, and why dirty a paper towel when you can lick it off? So that's about done. We're gonna put it in the fridge. And I just want to check on this really quick. So this is our curtido that we made earlier. I'm just going to give it a little bit of shake, see how it's doing. Might even test it at this point, see what's going on. So it's a little bit crunchy still. That's okay. What I wanted to do is like. So with that, you want a little bit of acid, a little bit of sweet sugar, a little bit of salty salt. Because cabbage just by itself is kind of bland, right? So, all right. This is almost done. What you really want to see is that you like can touch it. It holds its shape. It doesn't really get on your finger. It does a little bit. It's still a little wet. We need to let it sit for another couple minutes. I just want to make sure it's hydrated. So I want to talk for a second about what else I have here. We'll start with this. So I went to a community garden the other day, um, and they had these guys. So these are actually zucchini flowers, also known as laurel flowers. And I bought this like whole bundle of them, and I've already cleaned most of them. So all you have to do to clean them is just sort of make sure there's no outside dirt or bugs. And then you want to make sure that you, of course, get rid of the stem, and you want to make sure you get rid of the stem. So the stem is up there, so we want to make sure we get rid of that. So I'm just gonna put it really fast. And I already cleaned the rest of them. It didn't take me too heckin' long, um, but I didn't want to sort of waste valuable time cleaning flowers. So we just take the stamen out from it, and you get this whole. And for this recipe, actually, what I'm going to do is just go ahead and tear them into pieces. I should really get another bowl for this. We'll see if this works. Might be too small. So I'm just getting another bowl for this. The reason why I'm breaking them up versus cutting them is because I want to preserve some of it a little bit. I want to preserve some of the structure of it. I want to preserve some of the. They're very delicate. Um, and when using a knife, you have a tendency to crush things, especially when they're super delicate. Um, so I'm just gonna go ahead and sort of, take a bunch of these. Um, and this is a pretty traditional pupusa filling. Um, so, you know what? I'll try some of it because it's been a while since I've had one with. Hmm, it's like a zucchini, honestly. But it's very light. It's not, floral. It's not like lavender or it's not like rose. It really does remind me of the zucchini vegetable. Um, just very light flavored. Um, yeah. When I go shopping at Trader Joe's, one of the things I like to buy is actually their mini, like their baby zucchini. And honestly, I'll just eat them raw with like ranch or maybe some hummus or something. It's so fucking good. So good. So the ones I'm going to be making today, I'm actually going to check my beans because I don't remember what kind they are. So I'm hoping they're like, sort of Hispanic or Mexican flavored. Uh, but typically, I like to make vegetarian pupusas. And so usually it'll be beans and cheese, or I like to do mushroom ones. Those are super good. Um, I've also done meat varieties too, but I don't like them as much. So, let's see, that's totally fine. Yeah, you would definitely have to cook them first. You don't want to put raw mushrooms in a pupusa. Um, all right, we're almost to cooking time. I think maybe not cooking time yet. Definitely assembly time. We really only have a couple flowers left, so we'll see what happens here. Okay, it's been a while since your girl has done this, so it's going to be an adventure. Um, so, I'll do this last one. All right, we got those. Let me try this first, because I don't remember. Okay, well, it's going to be mock vegetarian because it's got bacon in it. Okay, that's fine. So I just have some beans that I froze. a month or so ago. Um, and I typically make my beans sort of Mexican flavored anyways. So it's just black beans, some spices, bacon. I probably took the jalapeno out. Um, but I usually put a jalapeno in while the beans are cooking. And then onion. So it tastes pretty good, so I'll use that. All right. Then I also got cheese in this guy here. Um, so I actually have on the top here is like a pepper jack type deal. And then at the bottom you can see it's a little bit whiter and a little bit more crumbly. I had some cojita in the fridge. Um, so I just mixed them together because that's okay. Um, I would not really recommend using anything like a cheddar. You really want something sort of more mild. And I got cheese all over my fingers. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and give this a shot. Um, it's looking a little bit sticky. So what you don't want is for this to be super sticky. And it is acting a little bit sticky. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more masa to it, um, just to sort of make sure that we have a good like hydration level on it. Mix it around a little bit more. But all right, so what you want to do is that's probably about right. Um, and I like to actually wet my hands a little bit to make this. So what you want to do is maybe about it's a little bit less than the size of my palm. Um, and so what you want to do is make it a ball, and then I didn't cut my nails before this. I usually cut my nails. And you start making a well in your sphere, um, and then you sort of just you got to get in there and like flatten it out and make sure that it's sort of a uniform thickness. And essentially, what you're making is a bowl. Um, and what you want to try and do is, like I said, get this uniform thickness. And mine always evolve out into this bowl shape. I've seen some, people do it online, and everybody's sort of got a different way how to do it. Um, but I like doing it this way. You can also do it the way where you have essentially two sheets of masa. Um, so what you want to do is actually start stuffing it. So you put some of whatever filling you want in there. Um, which I'm just using my Loroco flour. Uh, take some of your cheese in there. Um, and you gotta just button it up. So you button it up. Ooh. And the beauty of this is you can sort of see I made it a little bit too wet by getting my hands wet, but you button this up. Whatever heckin' shape it turns out to be is fine. You just sort of pat it back into a circle. Um, and so we have this weird looking blob thing now, and you don't want it to look like that. So what you got to do, I'm actually going to put a little bit more on my hand. What you want to do is start to flatten it out. And typically I just gently press to sort of distribute the masa, distribute your filling out. Then you'll wind up getting something that looks like this. Maybe a little bit flatter. Let's see here. Where did I put that? I was looking for my ruler. Oh well, it's fine. I want to say that you want to get something in the range of like a quarter of an inch thick. And this stuff looks like. Did I answer that? Yeah, I did. I think it's about a quarter of an inch thick is what this looks like. Um, you don't really want to go. Let's stick my hand. Rip. Told you this was gonna be a fun ride, guys. Um, so if it sticks, that's fine. What you can do, it's nice that we got this big ass bowl of masa here. Yeah. So what I'm just doing is going back in and sort of filling in the holes in case you get any holes like it's stuck in my hand. Um, so just go back and fill in the holes a little bit. Now, if you do get, like a peeker, right? So you have some of your filling that's sort of peeking out. That's fine. Um, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? So let's make sure that I can actually get this fucker off here. I probably can. So, all right, cool. I might need to switch to using something else. Stick. All right. I might do that. Might do that. I just have some spray oil, and just to make sure that we don't have any sticking, I'm gonna spray some more on that. So that's fine. Actually, I might use this guy later. So basically, what you do is just keep this process going. I'm gonna try and do it this way instead. So you get about a palmful in your hand, and we're gonna make it into a sphere, into a nice ball. Um, and go in there, and my thumbnail is a little bit too long, so it's causing some issues. Um, so really, you want to make sure that, especially when you're sort of digging up in there, that your thumbnail is a little bit shorter. Uh, so again, we're just going for this bowl shape. A pretty good looking bowl there. Put some more filling in it. Some cheese. Then we go in there and button it up. And that is basically the process. Um, so I'm just going to keep making this until almost all of my fillings are gone. Uh, probably get somewhere in the range of, I can probably do 10. I can probably cook about 10 at a time. Um, so I really want to make sure that I get enough of them that I can just go ahead and start. Um, and you can see here that you're seeing my finger marks in here. That's fine. No big deal. Again, some sticky. So that tells me that our dough is still a little bit too wet. So might need to add more stuff to it. So Megan, what did you do with your kid free time besides watch me? I guess you can see that this one's got a little bit of shit sticking out of it. That's fine. No big deal. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. All right, there we go. That's probably better. So I just added a little bit more masa because we really want to try and prevent that sticking. Um, oh, well, yeah, you did cry, but I think you also cried for other reasons. I cried today too. It's alright. Happens sometimes. That's fine. No big deal. No big deal. Sometimes you gotta cry. It's healthy. Who cut the onions? I did. Dude, I don't really like it either, but it happens. Yeah, why is this so fucking sticky, man? So sticky. You really want to make sure that it's not super sticky, and this shit is not cooperating with me right now. I think that's getting better. Yeah, that's getting better. Yeah, a lot better. Alright. Alright. Let that sit for a minute. I have a drink. Alright. Yeah, this stuff is behaving a little bit better now. Um, so did anybody do anything fun today? What do we got going on out in the world? Hmm. Sorry, I was talking on the phone. Um, that's good, squirrel. I mean, I guess watching Navi and I are your rewards. Yeah, but I thought you ended your hike kind of early because of the whole horse shit fiasco with the dogs. Oh, there's a chef snack up in here. A whole lot of cheese that I'll eat in a second. I've never really had that kind of discipline, unfortunately. I'm always one of those like, uh, yeah, he's not allowed in the kitchen. Sorry. It's just, for both of our safeties, so I don't trip over him and he doesn't eat food he's not supposed to because dogs do that all the fucking time. Um, yeah, gonna be, backpacking for the first time next weekend. And you guys are probably going, "What the fuck, bitch? You're a geologist. How could this be the first time you're ever going backpacking?" Well, a lot of our trips were like uh, base camp oriented. Yeah, I am a little bit nervous too, especially because my fucking knee started acting up today. So I've been, selectively. I don't know if you can see me like sort of shifting my weight around. Um, but I've sort of, been trying to baby it a little bit today and icing the shit out of it and took a shitload of CBD to try and make it quit hurting. Um, so I'm hoping that I don't have that issue when we go because that will not be good. Uh-oh, I'm getting some stickage. Alright. I might start some of this shit up. Mm, Alright. Your girl's also getting hungry, so that's part of the reason I'm gonna start cooking now. Because I ate a little bit a couple hours ago, but that did not do anything justice, so we're gonna see how this goes. Alright. Oop, oop. Oh, damn it. All right. So, what do you guys enjoy more? Watching me form things, or do you want to watch them cook? Because you can't have both. I mean, you're still gonna see me forming them here, but you won't see this part if you want to watch them cook. Okay, that's fine. Well, fire part has already been started. So, all right. Well, I'll probably do that. All right, that's fine. Gets to see my lovely fat face for a second while I turn this shit around. There you go. So I got a cast iron skillet. I got a cast iron griddle. Put some oil on both of them. It is. I might need to actually do the thingy with this one. All right. It doesn't really make that much difference, at least in my opinion. So that's pretty warm. This one is fucking thin, so it's heating up real quick. Okay. I like them frozen. They're alright. Frozen. There's a couple different ways you can heat them up. Can you hear it? It's really what you want. So you want a little bit of a sizzle. So there's a couple different ways that you can heat them up from frozen. Like I said, I'm going to be making a big batch here. Um, and I freeze them. Usually, uh, freeze them, put them in a Ziploc bag, pull, out how many ever you want to eat at a time. One method, because my toaster actually has a defrost button on it, I usually just put them in the toaster. The other thing that you can do is get a little bit of a wet paper towel or wet, tea towel or whatever, and wrap them up and like microwave them for 30 seconds to a minute, and then they warm back up pretty well. So we want to let them go for a minute, minute and a half aside. What I'm going to do actually is go ahead and divide out the rest of this into balls, because it's just easier that way. This will probably get two out of this. Yeah. And then what I might actually do is start on another round of stuff right now because it needs to sit. So, looking at 2 cups of flour, and my water is dirty, so I'm adding actually a little bit more because I understand how this masa works now. Each bag operates a little bit differently. In theory, it shouldn't, right? Because it's manufactured in a facility, but it happens. Um, so there we go. Hey, Doom. Yeah, and you guys are lucky motherfuckers because you're actually gonna be able to watch me eat one. Um, so we'll check these. It's actually looking pretty good. If you can see this one here, it's that what'll happen is it'll brown. And the browning will sort of creep up on the sides. So I'm gonna go ahead and check this one because I believe it's the one I put on first. And it's looking pretty good. You can see that there's a little bit of browning on there. Um, I actually might leave the other ones go for a little bit longer because you can have a little bit of blackening on there and it's fine. So I'm gonna deal with this real quick. Thank you for the biddies. I appreciate it. And oh for sure, yeah for sure. Um, you're gonna get to watch me talk about balls and cheese and flowers and oh, thank you, Megan. I appreciate it. All right, this is feeling a lot better than I did before. Let me see if there's any more water up in there. Thank you guys. And this will be saved, so if you ever want to try and cook along with me, I can see if I can add all the ingredients somewhere. Um, all right, so we're gonna let this sit. It's gonna hydrate up a little bit more, and we'll go from there. I want to make sure that these guys are not burning. So that one had a little bit of cheese leak through. This one's gonna have a little bit of cheese leak through. That's fine. This needs to be a little bit of beef. There we go. Look at that one. Look at that. Yes, I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. All right, we're gonna wash these real fast. And I'll get close to this again so you guys can hear it. I really should mark it like AMSR, ASMR, whatever the hell it is. I am too. I am about to eat some of the shit. I might need to oil this bad boy up more. Me too. Oh, thank you. So you take your balls that you made out of masa and you go ahead and sort of make a bowl out of it. Um, so I'm making my bowl. Oh, you need a third person for that. If you live in Texas, Doom, and you can get here in the next couple hours, I'm down. And those bad boys might be done. So we got some cheese spillage, so let me finish this one and I'll pull them off. Alright. This one's gonna be a baby one, that's fine. That's fine. Alright. Oop, oop. I highly recommend it if you have a a Salvadorian place near you. All right. Look at that. Look at it. Beautimous. This one's got some spillage too. These are all pretty much done. All right. What is that? It's back. All right. Yeah, but you know what's funny about that? Bullet's allergic to corn. And that's what the masa is made out of. Um, so you really kind of got to be careful. If your dogs are allergic to corn, I would say don't do it. Um, yeah, you could do chicken and peas. Yeah. So I have to buy, grain-free dog food for him because his skin like gets super messed up if I give him corn. Um, yeah. All right. It's kind of hot in this bitch, so I might have to go turn my air down. Another one bites the dust. That's all you guys get. I'm hesitant to sing in front of other people because I had somebody that I really trusted in high school told me I was shit. So if I do, it's gonna be awful, intentionally awful. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. Another one's gone. Another one's gone. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. Happy? Happy? You happy now? Only for you. I mean, I am. Try to be. All the time. Oh shit. Alright, if you guys want me to sing, then I'm gonna pick something else. I really don't super like the song that's playing right now. Let's see what we got. Nope. Oh, we could do that one. Metal version of Toxic. No, I can't. I don't know the words to this one actually. Yeah, I'm gonna need a little bit of water. You're toxic. I'm gonna die. Oh, but you're toxic. No, that you're toxic. That's about all I know about that song. Alright, we'll finish forming this one. Okay, so in this case, where is it? It's a little bit too dry because you can see it's cracking along the edge here. Um, so basically, the only remedy to that is water. So you guys sort of rehydrate stuff a little bit. And it's kind of a pain in the ass fine balance between them being too wet and too dry. Um, and honestly, it takes a little bit of fussing, it takes a little bit of practice, and a little bit of like, making them, sort of repeatedly on a regular schedule. Um, so your girl's gonna eat here in a little bit because hungry. Oh, let's see. Mm. Yourself to the music, the moment. It comes once in a lifetime. Music the moments. So fun fact, when I was like 12, I started listening to Eminem. That's where this song is from. Um, okay. And I only really listened to that like one Eminem album, and that was all the rap I ever listened to. All right, your girl's gonna eat because I can. It's a good time to pause. So we got our curtido salsa that I actually put in the freezer to make sure it's cold. And I'm gonna show you guys how I eat these. I'm gonna take this one here. I will, yeah, I will probably enjoy them over the next fucking month or something. Um, and typically, how I eat this is actually like this. Take your pupusa, put some of your, you know, pickled cabbage, coleslaw, whatever you want to call it, curtido on top, like this. Actually, gotta set this guy down for a second. Mm. Take some of your salsa, put your salsa on top, like that, and down the hatch. Mm. It's been like a year, and it was so fucking good. And the like sort of light little zucchini hint that you get from the flowers. Mm, mm, so good. Yeah, I turned it off.
Y'all motherfuckers need Satan.
Yeah. Mm. See that cheese pull? Oh god. Oh god. Mm. This one's still hot. Ready? Look at it. Look. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, talk about food porn, guys. Holy shit. So good. These need a little bit longer. And like I said, I like my, curtido a little bit uh softer. This is kind of crunchy. Mm, mm. Good shit, guys. I'm sorry, none of you are here to enjoy it with me, but tell you what, If I ever need to couch surf at any of your places, just tell me what to cook and I'll cook it for you. All right, I gotta actually, finish my mission here. So we're probably gonna turn the heat off for a bit, and then I'll restart it. Because I think what I'm gonna do is just go through a mission of, you know, making these guys. So it's gonna be slightly boring for a little bit. See if I can find something to sing along to. Let's see. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Cooking is honestly one of my love languages. I guess that falls under, sort of acts of service. Um, I got another chef snack, just like wads of cheese that um, wind up not didn't get processed good enough. Um, and I love cooking, love food. Um, try and make it healthy. This is sort of, pretty good. It's not too bad in the health department, right? It's just basically cheese, and if you make them vegetarian, it's, um, the only fat you really get in it is from the cheese and from any oil that you use on your pans. So, it's a little bit too big. And so I looked a little bit into the tradition of these because I was curious. So apparently, the concept of pupusas came from one of the Pipil. I think that's right. The Pipil people of El Salvador, and this was back 2,000 years ago. So they made these stuffed corn cakes, and the tradition sort of carried over. And the pupusas actually wound up uh, emigrating with the Salvadorian people in the 1980s when they first started coming to the United States, sort of in droves. Um, and honestly, I highly recommend finding a spot that has them. Um, I will sort of caution that a lot of the places don't speak English very well, especially in this area, which I find kind of interesting. Um, and so they all prefer you to speak Spanish. And there was this one time that I went to a spot, and I thought I was ordering one thing. Well, I wound up ordering like three times more food than I wanted because my Spanish is so fucking bad. Um, so be aware of that. Whew. All right, we have about 20 minutes left. Let's see how much I can get done. Uh-oh. Somebody woke up from their nap. I just heard him. See if he pokes his nose in the kitchen and I get to yell at him. Yeah, they do. I'm trying to see. All right, that'll be for the last one. So what I usually do is you can see like, oh, somebody's over there. I don't know if y'all can see him. You can barely see him. He's looking at me like I'm nuts. No, I actually, you can see like, how the fuck would I eat this mini squirrel? Look at that. You think I'm gonna eat all those? No. Uh, what I do is I let them cool down, and honestly, that's an awful way to let them cool down because they're all stacked on top of each other. Um, but let them cool down, then freeze them. And you can freeze them into like a Ziploc bag or whatever. Um, because it's easy. It's easy, sort of once I get in the mode and do the production line to just hammer them out real quick. Um, this is sort of on par with tamales in my head. Anyway, so I freeze them in like a Ziploc bag. Then I pull out like one or two at a time. I usually eat them for breakfast. And I'll put them in the toaster or I put them in the microwave for a couple seconds, sort of with a wet paper towel. So you really don't want them to dry out a whole heckin' lot. Um, so it's not too bad. And it's been about a year since I've made these actually. And honestly, like a plate usually looks like two or three of them. Um, and then you get, of course, the like curtido and the salsa, and then usually they come with beans, or maybe fried plantains. Um, but just eat them by themselves, right? Um, and then with the salsa and the curtido. But and are you okay, Annie? You okay, Annie? You've been struck bad. You okay? Any, are you okay? So I didn't realize in this song that they basically repeat the fucking words like over and over again, like so many times. Any, okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Any? This one might need to have its own pile. All right, we might. Um, it's actually a version by this guy named Leo. And he does like metal. Yeah, he does metal covers of all kinds of songs. I actually don't listen to the Michael Jackson one. The one that I've listened to the most is the one by Alien Ant Farm. Um, but I just like Sims posted like uh, Leo's metal version of WAP, and I didn't particularly like that song, but I loved Leo's versions of all the different songs. He's so fucking good, like so good. I don't know. I just need to like be in the mood to hear certain words. I really don't know how else to say that. Um, I think I might let the flowers go for now and switch over to my beans. The beans are a little bit wet, so this will be interesting. Hey, Badger. So I need to drain these out a little bit. Yeah. Ugh. So, pro tip: if you decide to use beans in these, you make sure they're a little bit drier because if they're a little wet, they're gonna do some weird shit. Um, I am making pupusas, Badger, which are basically like stuffed corn cakes. Um, and the ones with beans are like fucking ugly. They are so ugly. Where the fuck's the camera at? Right there. Ugly. But they'll taste good, and that's really what I'm going for here. It's uh, basically the concept comes from El Salvador, and so in South American countries, they basically have different variations of like a stuffed corn cake, um, or sort of like a corn cake sandwich almost. So Venezuela, they actually do arepas, which you don't use this flour for those. No, you don't. You use a little bit more coarsely ground corn. um, to make the sort of arepa. I don't know what's it called, them biscuits maybe, because that's sort of what I liken them to. Um, and maybe Ovog will disagree with me, but and then you essentially sort of cook those and then stuff them with your ingredients after you cook them. I'm sure he probably has. If he hasn't, he might have eaten them somewhere. Um, so yeah, I'm actually using, actual cheese with lactose and all that stuff in it. Damn it. Having issues with this one, man. All right, there we go. Oh, guys, it sucks getting old. Just saying. Things are hurting and I'm like moving slower and so I have some, zucchini flour left. I have some cheese left. I'm actually thinking about trying to stuff them probably tomorrow. So we'll see how that turns out. I do like me some dried mango. All right. All right. You guys ready? Oh, a little bit. Wasn't as good a sizzle as last time. I wonder if you just ate so much that your body was like, ah, fuck you. So I got a thingy. Yeah, I do. That's interesting. Yeah, but I love pine forests and going through those, man. There's one up in like Northern California that smells like buttered popcorn. That's crazy. Like, shove your nose into the tree and it smells like fucking buttered popcorn. I'll have to look it up because I can't remember what kind of tree that was. Alright. Yep, that's good. Alright. I think I might need one of the bean ones and then we'll sign off. So once those ones are done, so they're a little bit fatter because I was arguing with the beans over them. But I hope you all had fun. I have to think about what I want to make next time because I do not know. Do not know. So if you guys have suggestions, please let me know. I'll have to figure out my internet issues because this thing sucks. What do they have in them, Badger? I'll have to look up how they're made because they might not have the correct pan. Yeah, I mean all, not all the sides, but you know, some of them. And really, it basically kills two birds with one stone. So now I have some stuff to eat for breakfast in the morning. But I do love me a full English breakfast, even though I'm like allergic to eggs. I fucking love it, man. Um, so I could do one of those. That's fun. That's just a lot of food. Um, Let's see here. Mushrooms with what? With what now? Oh, when I make it, no, I don't. Um, I don't have a place here that does a full English breakfast unless I make it myself. Um, no, I typically do, like, depends, because I'm not a super big tomato fan either. So it's very rare that I actually do the tomato with it. But I do, the Heinz beans, um, usually sausage and bacon, and then maybe an English muffin or a crumpet if I can, feel like making one, or I buy them, and then an egg. Uh, yeah. I haven't had one for a while because I've been trying not to eat eggs because I thought they were some of my issues. So they still might be some of my issues, but hmm, you know what I could make when it gets cooler out, maybe next month, because I was thinking about only doing these like once a month. Um, with Salisbury steak, and the way I make it is actually caramelized onions, caramelized mushrooms, and then essentially like little meatloaf patties, and it's so fucking good, so good, so good. So it's sort of meatloaf adjacent, I guess. Yeah, these are good. Cool, cool. So this one's a little wacky. That's fine. All right. Yeah, so I might do that. All I'm doing right now is sort of laying these back out because I don't want them to get, because they kind of like steam up a little bit. That's okay, but it's not really what we're looking for right now. So what I might do with these last couple ones is just put them on paper towel. Well, you don't gotta eat it, Lyra. Just saying. Yeah. Well, I mean, I figured you probably would like some spicy balls. Is it in the popover family? Because if it's in the popover family, then I'm gonna have to get a popover tin. I mean, when you cook mushrooms correctly, they're fine. Yeah, I'll post it in the Discord, Badger. Alright. Oh, shit. Shit. Alright. We're gonna eat one more, guys. And somebody coming and sticking his fatty head where it don't belong. Bullet. Let's do the test, because this is still warm. Might have beans go everywhere. Yep, had beans go everywhere. And cheese. And lava cheese. Alright. Well, I can't pick that one up. That's fine. I haven't heard that here. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a thing. Mushrooms that taste like popcorn. Really? Because we have like 17 fucking different kinds. And most of them are actually grown in in a grocery store here, which I think is funny. Hmm. Well, we have white button ones, baby Bella, which are baby portobellas, um, oyster, lion's mane, trumpet, shiitake, and I'm running out of options. Um, but at the farm, there's actually a couple farms here, and when I say farms, it's just like a lab room that they grow these mushrooms in. So you can actually get them for pretty cheap usually. But hmm. Well, guys, I don't know who to raid. Huh? Ukrainian mushroom tea. Are you sure it's not hallucinogenic? Yeah. We have some stuff like that here. The ones that I know about are actually powdered though, that you mix in with like warm water. I haven't tried one yet. I haven't been brave enough. But all right, guys. Let's see. I don't know. Does anybody have suggestions on who to raid? Because I don't know. All right. Well, we'll raid. Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to clip that. All right. Cool. Whatever. We'll do Erica. She is doing Animal Crossing. All right. Oh no, she's doing tarot. Looks like. All right. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. And I hope everybody enjoyed. I know I did. Bye, guys.